If you run a Shopify store with a large catalog, there are two things that you need to focus on. First, how to allow your customers to easily find what they are searching for. And second, how to show your customers what do you sell using collections and sub-collections. In today's video, I'm going to show you the most effective way to fix these 2 points and to make sure that your customers are not being lost while exploring your huge catalog. The tips you are going to learn in this video are extremely effective for e-commerce businesses with medium to large size catalog, especially if you are using Shopify. But if you are not using Shopify, don't worry, the tips will still work. Only the tutorial part will not work, so you need to figure out how to apply these same tips on the e-commerce platform you have used in order to create your online store. And now, let's get started with the first tip. So the first thing that you should start with is how to divide your products into the right collections and sub-collections. And in here, you need to put yourself in your customer's shoes, and you need to try to think in the same way they think while they are searching for something they want to buy. So let's say, for example, you sell sports outfits. One customer might go in there and might take this road. They would go to the women collection, and from there they would go, for example, to product types. They will choose legging, and from there they might choose yoga, and after that the color, and they will buy the legging. But another customer might decide to go on a different road. They might start with sports type, so they start with yoga, then they will go to product type, they would choose leggings, then from there they would choose brand, and from there the color, and they will buy what they need. So as you can see, your customers don't behave in the same way, and they don't search for what they need in the same way. That's why you need to make sure that your collections and sub-collections are covering all the different ways of thinking that your customers might have. The easiest way to tackle this is to start by deciding what are your main collections. So going back to our sports outfits example, we can start by deciding that we want to have a section for women, a section for men, a section for kids, maybe a brands section where people can find products by brand, and maybe we can have, for example, a section by sports types. So as you can see, these could be our main big collections, and under these collections we need to divide our products. And remember, you can have the same product in multiple collections and sub-collections. Here is a small tip that can help you greatly at this phase, and it is to go to your competitors' stores, especially to big names and big brands in your niche, and try to get inspired from them, how they divided their products into collections and sub-collections, and try to do something similar. Even if you don't have anything that's directly in your same niche, maybe you can get inspired from big stores with a lot of products like Decathlon, even like Amazon. Once you decided what collections and sub-collections you want to have, and I highly recommend you to do a sketch or an Excel sheet to list all of your collections, the sub-collections under each of your main collections, and even what products are going to be in these collections and sub-collections. Once you finish doing this, we move to the part of applying this in your store. So how are you going to assign the products to the collections, especially if you have a large catalog and you have already a lot of listings in there? Well, when it comes to Shopify, there are different ways of how you can organize your collections and sub-collections. Actually, in Shopify, there is no sub-collections. All collections are equal, but the way we show them in the front end in the store, that's how we differentiate between sub-collections and collections. So in Shopify, there are different ways of how you can create collections and what are the rules of these collections. So let's say, for example, I'm creating a collection for my leggings. I would have the tag leggings in all the products that fit under this product type, and I will create a collection based on this rule: product tag is equal to leggings. Well, when it comes to product type and to the vendor, which could be the brand, in these two cases, maybe you have already filled these information, so you can create collection based on a rule like, for example, product type is legging, product vendor is Adidas, let's say, for example. So there are so many different ways of how you can create collections, but again, my favorite way is to use tags. Now, since you have already a large catalog, this is where it becomes tricky, because it means that you need to update all of your products and add tags to them. You can use other ways like that might, let's say, for example, save you a little bit of time, like using product titles, or it depends on your store. Basically, we are going to see now the different rules of creating collections on Shopify, but it depends on how you have listed your products originally. My favorite way again is to use tags. I think it's the best way for the future because it means that whenever you are adding a new product, you can give it the right tags and it's going to be in all the right collections by default without lifting a finger. So let's move to Shopify and let's see all of these ideas in action so you can understand more what I'm talking about. So here I am inside of Shopify, and from here I need you to go to products and to go to collections. Okay, we are going to start by exploring the different ways that you can create collections or set up collections on Shopify. So let's click on create collection. And from here, you can see that we have two types of collections. If you set up the collection type to be manual, you can't change it in the future. So make sure that to never choose manual unless you're doing a very small collection, because if you choose manual, it means that every time you add any product to your store, you need to manually assign it to this collection. And you need to make your work the easiest possible. That's why we are going to do automatic collections all the time. So as you can see in here, we have smart, which is the automatic part. And in here, you can see the conditions. So product must match all of these conditions or any condition. We are going to start with the simplest way, which is any conditions. And as you can see, the first option is to use tags. Tags are entered at the product level. So let's say, for example, for this product, when you scroll in here, you will see this tag section in here. So you can tag this product, let's say by leggings or whatever makes sense. So we go in here and we choose tag is equal to, and we choose our tag from here. So when we do that, all the products that have this tag in here will be directly assigned to this collection. Now, let's say you haven't used tags before and you have no idea how we are going to fix this. You have 700 products and you are totally lost. The good news is we can do bulk editing, and this is a new, let's say not very new, but fairly new feature by Shopify, and they are improving it over time. There are also other apps that can do like bulk editing on a more advanced level, but in this video, we are going to stick with Shopify tools. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create this collection, how to fix the tag issue, and so on. So let's say, for example, I'm going in here and I want to create a collection, and the tag is going to be, for example, my name. As simple as that, and I will call the collection my name. Okay, so now the collection is created, and this is the rule. The tag should be equal to Rihab. Once I have created my collection and I have set up the rule, let me show you now how you can bulk edit the products in order to make them under this collection. So I'm going to select some of these products in here. You can choose to filter or search for specific products. It's up to you. I'm going to click on bulk edit. And from here, I'm going to choose under collections to see the tags. It's already there. And as you can see, I can see in here the tags assigned or put for these products. I will add in here my tag, and I will do the same for the other products. You can always decide to drag like this if the tags work for all the products. And I will click on save. By simply doing this, these products are going to be automatically assigned to my collection. So now when I go back in here and I go to the collection, I will just wait for a few seconds until I see the products in here. So let's refresh one more time. So as you can see, now I have this product listed under this collection. And if you go to the product itself, you would see under collections that this product is automatically added to the collection, which is under my name. So in order to assign your products to the collections, again, in my opinion, the easiest way is to use tags. But in case you have done a pretty good job while you are listing your products and you have like the product type set correctly and you have the vendor set up correctly, what you can do is to go to the collections, and this time instead of choosing tags as a rule, you can, for example, choose vendor. Vendor usually works pretty well for brands. So let's say, for example, you sell Adidas, Reebok, Nike, whatever, and you have the right vendor name under the vendor. You can always use this rule in order to create a collection based on the vendor or the brand. And you can also create a collection based on the product type. So type is equal, and you can choose the type from here. This is also extremely beneficial if you have already listed a lot of products and you have already like the product type set up properly. In this way, you will save a lot of time with this rule. In this case, you will be saving a lot of time with this rule because the product type are already set up. Okay, so if we want to go back to our outfit example, this could be, for example, product type is equal to leggings or to bras and so on. And here is a small tip. If you are working on an already existing Shopify store and you don't want to mess up all of your collections or your current store, what I recommend you to do is to rework all of your collections and sub-collections, give them a special name or something to differentiate between the old ones and the new ones. In this case, you won't be changing anything on the live store. Okay, you need to figure out a balance between what collections are going to die and what collections you are going to, let's say, keep. And you need to make sure that you are not, let's say, ruining everything on the front end of your store. Okay, so be a little bit cautious, not too cautious. It's not that difficult. Just create these collections and sub-collections, because after creating them, we are going to move to the next tip, which is super important for any e-commerce brand with a lot of products. So now that you have your collections and sub-collections figured out, and you have created them, the question is how you are going to show them in the store front end, how you are going to allow your customers to explore them, to understand what you sell, and to easily find what they are searching for. And here comes a part where we need to focus on our store layout, and mainly on two things. First, we need to focus on the navigation menu, which is the main menu of our store. And second, we need to focus on our homepage. In order to understand what do we sell, people are going to do one of two things. Either they will check the navigation menu, or they will scroll through the homepage, or maybe they will do both of them. That's why we need to focus on these two things. On Shopify, we are allowed to create a 3 levels navigation menu. And on this YouTube channel, there are 2 videos that can show you exactly how to set up the perfect navigation menu for your store. But in order to give a small summary for this video, what I recommend you to do is to use mega menus and to use the 3 levels provided by Shopify. You are selling a lot of products, so you have a lot of categories and subcategories, and you should be mentioning them in your navigation menu. So let me move to Shopify to show you more about how to set these up so you can understand more what I'm talking about. So here I am inside of Shopify, and when we talk about navigation, we are talking about the main menu. So if I preview this store, for example, which is a trial store, you can see that I have in here a menu, a very simple one with home, catalog, and contact. But what we are aiming to achieve is something more complicated. So let's go, for example, to Decathlon, which is one of the largest stores that I know of. And as you can see in here, we have so many items on the menu. We have sports, women, and blah, blah, blah. When we click on women, a large menu opens showing all the categories and subcategories. And this is something that you can achieve on Shopify because it's a 3-level menu. So the first level is women, the second level is those items, clothing, shoes, activewear, and the third level are these. I'm going to show you how to create one of these items, but again, if you want to know more about navigation menus, I highly recommend you to check these videos on my YouTube channel. So going back to Shopify, you go in here to online store and you go to navigation, and this is where you need to change your main menu. I'm going to go with this one, which was the basic navigation menu. As you can see in here, we have 3 items, but when you go to this menu, for example, you can notice that I have 3 levels. So I have level 1, level 2, and level 3. Let me show you how to set them up so you can understand more this. So going back in here, let's start a new menu and let's call it homepage. And in here, I will start by adding the menu items. So let's say the first thing would be shop. And I want to make this unclickable, so I'm going to put this symbol in here so I don't need to put a link. And I click on add. So this is my first level, the shop. Then under the shop, I will do, for example, shop by product type. Okay, and this could link to a page showing all my different product types. So in here, I can go see if I have a collection, let's say a product type collection, I can choose it from here. Okay, I'm gonna choose anything. So instead of putting shop by product type, I will put breakfast, for example, and see if I have a collection for this. I don't, so if I have one, I need to put it. Otherwise, I can simply put this in here. I will click on add. Now I need to move this one to be under the shop. So I will drag it like this and move it. So it's now a second level. Now I need to create a third level. So I click here on add menu item, and let's see, I'm going to choose the dried fruit, for example. Let me choose something else. I can choose, for example, the bread and buns, okay? And I need to move them to make them the third level. So as you can see, I've put them as third level. So now I have level 1, level 2, and level 3. And with the same logic, I can create a new menu, which is, for example, kitchen accessories. And I will put other items below it. So going back in here, I will put under it, for example, kitchen appliances, and I will move it like this. So again, as you can see, this is level 1, this is level 2, and this is level 3. And I will click on Save Menu. Now I will need to go to my online store. I will go to Customize. And this is the Dawn theme. This is a trial store, but don't worry, regardless of the theme you are using, this is gonna work. I will go to Header, and from here, under Menu, I will replace it, and I will choose my homepage menu, the one that I have just created. Okay, once done, I will click on Save. And as you can see, this is my new menu, and I have 2 levels. But this is not a mega menu. It doesn't look like this one. Well, I need to go back in here, and I need to choose that it's gonna be a mega menu. So now, as you can see, it's a mega menu. So if I have more items, I will see more of these, let's say, collections and sub-collections. But it's very important also to note that the way your mega menu appear, or let's say the layout, will depend greatly on the theme you are using. So if you are using a professional theme, the mega menu would be different. Maybe you will be able to add images in there, promotions, and so on, maybe even link to special products. So depending on the theme you are using, you might have more flexibility when it comes to the mega menu. Now, after you finish with the navigation menu, which is a super important thing, we move on to the next thing that you need to do, and it is to show your collections and sub-collections within your homepage. And this can be easily done by listing these collections in here. So you can, for example, you can go in here and add within the homepage template a collection list section where you list some of your collections. You don't need to list all of your collections. You can have them divided. So for example, if this is breakfast, you can here have the breakfast sub-collections in here. If this is woman, you can have the woman sub-collections in here. If this is, for example, yoga, you can have under it leggings, bras, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is one of the things that you can do in order to list your collections on the homepage, is to use the collection list. You can always use different sections like featured collection and so on. But if you have a lot of collections, the best way to do it is to use collection lists. When you finish setting up your navigation menu and showing your collections and sub-collections on your store homepage, we move to the third point, and it is one of the most important things that any Shopify store with large catalog should be working on, and it is the filters. I can't emphasize more on the importance of setting up filters on your collection pages, and not any filters. You need to set up the right filters, and each niche is different. And again, for this, I recommend you to go to big brands in your niche, to big stores, and see what they are doing and learn from them. So filters are extremely important when you have a lot of products, because they are the main thing your customers are going to use in order to, let's say, minimize their options. So I want you to put a real serious job into this part, deciding what filters do you want to have and setting them up on your Shopify store. Going back to the Decathlon example, if you go, for example, to the women collection and you go simply to all clothing, you will see that in here, first you have these small sub-collections listed here. And if you want to know more about how to set up this layout, how to have your sub-collections listed within your collection page, and it's also something super beneficial for any store with a large catalog, I highly recommend you to check this video on my YouTube channel, where I show you step by step how you can use and apply the same layout on your store. But now let's focus on the filters. So when you click here on filters, you will see that a huge menu opens and we have different filters. We have nature, sports, colors, sizes, and so on. So let's say I'm in here, I want to choose everything that's blue. I can simply click blue and I will see everything that's blue. These are the filters and they are extremely important. So the first thing that you need to decide is what are your filters. So in here, for example, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 filters. And you need to decide what are the values under each filter. So for color, for example, it's pretty simple. These are the colors. For sports, these are the sports types. Once you decide your filters, you need to learn how to apply them in your Shopify store. The layout or how they appear within the collection page is highly related to the theme you are using. Some themes will allow you to have the filters horizontally, vertically, and so on. But since you already have a huge catalog and most probably you would need a lot of filters, I highly recommend you to pick a theme where the filters can be shown on the left side, like in here, vertically, because this is the best way. If you have them horizontally, they will be so much and they will be in rows. They won't look as nice as in here. Okay, so first you need to have a theme that supports filters and that supports them better on the site. Next, you need to set them up within the Shopify store. And in order to do that, we are going to use meta fields. I'm not sure if you have any idea about meta fields and how to use them. I will try to explain them in a very simple way in here. But again, there is a video on this YouTube channel where I explain meta fields in details. You can watch it after watching this video to get more familiar with them. But in order to set up filters, we need to do two things. First, we need to set up the meta fields. Second, we need to set up the app that's going to show the filters. So let's start first by creating the meta fields. So let's say, for example, we decided to add a filter which is colors. So what you need to do is you go in here to settings, you go to custom data, you go to products, and you create a new meta field called color. Okay? And in here under type, it's going to be a single line meta field because it's a filter. And we are going to choose list of values. When you choose list of values, it means that we can have two values for this filter. So let's say, for example, you have a dress that's red and green at the same time. And you wanted to show when someone filters for green dresses or when someone filters for black dresses. So what you need to do is to give the color filter in here two values, green and black, in order to have this dress showing for these two values. Okay, and then here you can list your preset options. So let's say I'm gonna go green. This is my first option, red, black, white, yellow, whatever, okay? And I will click on save. Once this is done and I go back to my products, you can see that within your product in here, there is something new, a new field that has been created, and it is the color. Okay, this is the one. Ignore these were for a different tutorial. So for the color, you click in here and you choose. So I can choose green. I can also add another option, which is, for example, black. Once I've created this filter and I have applied the values, and you need to do this to all the products where this filter makes sense. If the color filter doesn't make sense for some of your products, you don't need to fill up this filter for them. Okay, so as the same thing that we have done for colors, you need to do to all of your filters. And once you do that, you need to go to your apps and you need to download an app called Search and Discovery app. So I'm going to apps, and this is the app. Okay, this app is going to help you to set up the filters and to show them on your Shopify store. So you go in here, you click on filters, you click on add filter, and for the source, we can in here continue scrolling or simply choose color, and this is the one that we have created under product meta fields. So by clicking on save, this filter is now going to show on our store. So now when we go to our store and we go to a certain collection page, we will see this new filter in here, and it is our new meta field. Okay, I need to mention something. If none of the products under this collection has a value for this meta field, so if you didn't enter this value for any of the products under this collection, this filter is not going to show. Okay, so let's say one filter applies to your leggings collection, but it doesn't apply to your bras collection. So just by not filling this meta field value for your bras, the filter will be hidden and it will not show. Okay, so I'm going in here to choose, for example, green, and as you can see when I do that, this is filtered, and if I choose black as well, it is filtered because I have included these two values under the color meta field. Setting up filters is a little bit tricky and it needs a lot of work, especially if you have a large catalog. You can always use the bulk editor like I have shown you at the beginning of this video, and also you can check out this video on my YouTube channel where I talk more about bulk editing your products. But at a certain stage, you might need to use an app to help you with bulk editing, because up until now, with Shopify, you can bulk edit meta fields. So in case you need to bulk edit meta fields, like fill all the values at one time, you need to use an app. There is an app called Matrixify that can be greatly beneficial in your case. If you want me to create a video about how to bulk edit meta fields, how to do the same exact task, let me know in the comment section below and I would be more than happy to create the video for you. So I just noticed that I have mentioned a lot of other videos on this video, and all of them are extremely important and you must watch them before you start, let's say, playing around and fixing your catalog. What I recommend you to do is to go down to the description to watch all of these videos, learn well how to manage a Shopify store with a large catalog, learn how to set up filters properly, the navigation, the collections, sub-collections, everything. And once you are confident that you know how to manage this, move on to Shopify and start with your work. I hope that you liked this video. If so, don't forget to smash the like button, to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification bell, because in this way you will get notified every time I publish a new video.